Another video. Something else I want to talk about. Something else. Imagination. Is it important in our world or is it not important in our world? What do you think the answer is? It's important. It's very important in our world. Um, and if you don't believe it's not important in our world, then how about you take a trip, take a little tour through the world, and see places that lack imagination, and see how well it does, how well those places are, how fucked up those places are. Like seriously, imagination is really important because it keeps you in tune with your soul, keeps you in tune with the universe. It keeps you in tune with your child self. You know, when we don't have imagination, we become very cold. We become a shell of ourselves, and we become like we just become this like manufactured like it's like it's like SpongeBob. Oh my gosh! Now like I'm like I don't want to say older. Now I'm like more mature, like, and understand things a little better. Like, oh my gosh, like those shows, those like kid shows that we used to watch, like, oh my gosh, they really were warning us about so much crap. They really were. Like, if you really paid attention, like there's like an episode in like SpongeBob, like, remember like when SpongeBob like became like normal or something like that, and like the Krabby Patty, like, oh my fucking gosh. Oh my gosh, dude, they don't play around. Like the Krabby, what's the fucking, oh, the Krusty Krab. I said the Krabby Patty. The Krusty Krab became like, it was like bought out by like Suits, right? By Suits. I just call them Suits. They were bought out by Suits, and it just became like this like manufactured like industrial place, and like it was just like so fake. Like dude had like a fake smile and everything. He just seemed like, oh yeah, I'm this awesome guy, but really I have nothing to me. All I want is money. And like the food was like just like really like manufactured, and like the people didn't really like the food because there was no heart in it. It kind of reminds me like that episode reminds me of like fast food. When I was younger, fast food was pretty awesome. Like I remember like Burger King, like Burger King, they used to have like the little chicken nuggets, and the chicken nuggets would be like cut in like crowns and stuff like that. And like they used to have like the crowns. I remember that. Like it used to be fun going there. Like McDonald's, they used to have like the park inside the McDonald's, and you know they would have like all these like toys, like, and they really cared, you know. But now it's just like, okay, where's my money? You know, and it's just like everything's just thrown together. And since it's like that, the places are like that as well. Like the because the environment, um the energy of the environment affects the people that work there. So the people that work there don't really feel like they belong. They don't really feel good. They just feel like they're being used. You know, people can pick up on these things, even if not consciously. They can pick up on it subconsciously, and it's not good for the morality of the environment. But yeah, like back to SpongeBob. Like, yeah, like the food wasn't good, and like the people didn't like the food because there was no heart in it. Oh my gosh. Okay, this also reminds me of a Boruto episode. I think it was a filler episode. You know Inogen? Remember Inogen? Inogen was trying to like he was trying to like go down like the like he kind of lost himself in this like filler episode. It's a good lesson. He was thinking about how could just do things really fast and up the productivity. He was really losing himself in his art, so he started to like use copies of his art. Um, yeah, of his art, because like he follows his dad. He follows his dad's footsteps in ninjutsu. So he does like what's it like drawings? They do like drawings, and they bring like the drawings to life. That's their ninjutsu. Um, and so he's like, okay, you know what? Why not just do this like really like do it faster? Like, why do I have to keep fucking drawing all the time? Why not just do it faster? So I'll just make like copies of it and everything like that. It'll just be faster, right? But when he was doing that, he was realizing that it wasn't working, and he was realizing that he was losing his ninjutsu. Like, it wasn't working at all. Like, even if he tried to like draw and shit, like, it wasn't really working for him. And it took him a while to realize, Sai, his father, wasn't really, he was trying to, he wanted him to figure it out on himself, because he didn't want him to give him the to just tell it all to him, because if he does, then he's going to be dependent on him and not be able to figure problems out on his own. And that's something that's important to do for your kids. Help them and everything like that, but guide them. Let them not be too dependent on you. It's important for them to figure these things out on their own, because if you're not there, how are they going to be able to figure these things out? So, he was just, being like the mediator and just checking up on him. And, he got kind of nervous, I'm pretty sure, because he felt like he wasn't getting it, but eventually he got it. But he started to he started to wonder why, like, he had to remember like the point of art and everything like that, his art and his ninjutsu and everything like that, and understand why he's trying to do it, instead of trying to do it to be better, or not be better, but like, just trying to just like, he's just focusing on the wrong things, right? And then eventually he realized that, it wasn't working because his heart and soul wasn't in it. Your heart and your soul has to be in it. That's what brings it alive. It's like what I was saying before in my music, like how I can tell if a song is good or not, if it's bullshit or not, because I can just tell like right away if your heart and soul is in it. Like what I say, like when I produce, I like for my songs to sound like they're alive. I like for the production to sound like it's alive. And I can't do that with my mind. I have to do it with my soul. So he had to realize that it wasn't working because he's not putting his heart and soul into it. You're bringing these creations to life with your soul, and it's really important to value and appreciate every piece of art you make, because if you're just throwing shit together just to use them, you're losing that connection with your art and with your soul. And each piece of art he makes, like each like ninjutsu jutsu he creates, there should be a connection with him and that art, especially since he makes art that comes alive. So it's really important for him to have that connection with him instead of trying to use it, just use him just to get what he wants, right? So it's pretty much like that with like McDonald's, or like with SpongeBob or whatever, like that episode. And going back to SpongeBob, the same like episode, SpongeBob like lost his way and he became like super damn like normal, and he just wasn't himself, and he just was super bland. Wasn't he like a damn like a oval or something like that, like a circle or something? He wasn't square anymore, he was something like that. But he just wasn't himself. He lost himself in his creativity. And he pretty much became like a shell of himself. And I think that was like freaking like Squidward, who like was so drawn to him being like, he was like really annoyed at him being himself. But Squidward is only like that because he's wounded, and he feels so hurt and so like shunned and everything like that, to the point where whenever he sees a good thing or sees someone who is like in that like child, oh my fucking god, SpongeBob is crazy. R.I.P. the creator. I know he passed, but holy crap, like Stefan, I don't remember his last name, but yeah, back to SpongeBob. But oh my gosh, it's just crazy just thinking about it, because it's just so real life. That's just crazy. This is so real life. Oh my gosh. But yeah, like Squidward is just like, he's just like the guy who's just like wounded and like sad and everything like that, and doesn't know how to figure out how to be like SpongeBob. And he wants to be like that, but he just doesn't understand that, because he lost the connection with his soul, because he's so busy trying to impress other people, that he failed to realize that he's supposed to impress himself. That's why everything he does goes to shit, and why people don't like being around him, because he's too busy trying to be someone that he's not. It's like with Squidwardson or some, like, the Squidward guy with the eyebrow, who's like, oh my gosh. Dude, I need to watch SpongeBob again. This is funny just thinking about it. Cause he's trying to like, remember there was like an episode when like Squid was like ashamed of working at the Krusty Krab, so like he tried to make like the Krusty Krab like this fancy place to impress like his like nemesis or whatever, like the fancy guy, like the rich guy. And then like Oh my gosh, that's so fucking hilarious. That's so funny to me. This is bro, SpongeBob is memes. That's so funny. But yeah, like he like literally like changed like SpongeBob to be like this like perfect guy, and then like same was like Mr. Krabs or whatever. He didn't care because he knew like rich people were coming, so he's like, whatever, I don't care, I just want money. So he's like, whatever, because you know Mr. Krabs is the biggest sellout ever, so he'll sell you anything for some damn money, for a damn penny. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. But and it turned out he's trying so hard to impress this dude when this dude is a loser himself. So I thought that was really interesting. But back to what I'm trying to get at is imagination and creativity. It's really important to not lose these things, because these things is what keeps us alive and what keeps us really like um grounded in life, and it's what allows for us to be able to dream and be able to manifest our lives. Now something that's important to realize is that I don't see this happen enough with people, but I just want to say it. But you do realize that dreams come in arcs, right? And arcs is like, just like a big ass like chunk of your life. Like right now I'm exiting an arc of my life, which is childhood. Prelude, I call it prelude. But childhood, it's like an arc of my life. It's not a chapter, it's just various chapters combined in your life, right? So it's important to realize that dreams come in arcs. And what I mean by that is that you don't just have one dream. It's like, okay, cool, like I want to be like a, like say like me, like a music artist, right? But then after that, I may have other dreams after that. It's not just, I shouldn't just have to be a fucking music artist my whole life. There's other things I want to do and other things beyond that. You should always keep dreaming. And I feel like that's something that we don't do enough of, is that, okay, I have to die at like 60 years old. Like, why? Like, why? Like, why do you think like that? Like, just because you see these things. It's important to dream and to realize that you can do the unbelievable and the unachievable. Well, what people may think is unachievable, but it's really important to keep dreaming and keep on believing that things can happen, that you can keep going beyond, so that this world can expand. It's very important to do that. You don't need to just have one dream. You can have all these different dreams, and then you do what you can do at the moment. I have a lot of dreams I want to have accomplished, but it's not time for me to go with certain dreams. So right now I'm focusing on music, because that's a dream that makes sense at this point in my life. um but yeah, it's really important to not damn, I really need to work on my ADHD skills, because like when I hear someone talking, when I'm talking, I get really distracted and I just start losing it. Like I just start losing my thoughts. um I'm gonna work on that. That's something I want to master, and I hope you guys master it as well. But creativity and imagination. I got this. I got this. Okay. Yeah. So damn it, my mind keeps going blank. But with creativity and imagination, I feel like it's really important to wait. Give me 1 minute to recharge. I'm just gonna recharge for a second. So I got distracted. Now I'm thinking about other things. I feel like it's also kind of, I lose thought a lot, because like I don't really think about things. I don't have things in my mind. So I'd like to just go off what I'm thinking about, and then when I get distracted and I start thinking about other things, I lose that thought process that I had before, and now I'm thinking about something else. So I can only focus on one kind of thing at a time. I can't focus on more than one thing at a time. So once I stop thinking about that, I have to kind of remember and get back to the other thing I was thinking about. Um, but yeah, But back with like creativity and imagination, um, something I will say, because I do remember something I did want to say and I didn't talk about yet, is that don't be embarrassed by being your creative self or your imaginative self or being different, believing in spirits, believing in supernatural, believing in things that are not deemed as possible, or being really close to yourself, or being very fantasy driven or everything like that. Trust in your soul, because your soul knows more than your mind does. Your soul has access to so much information in the universe that your mind cannot fathom. That's why your mind is annoyed by it, or uncomfortable with it, or skeptical, because your mind cannot fathom everything your soul knows. Our soul knows so much that it's not consciously or subconsciously letting us know, because it has so much information that it would shock us, and it can fuck us up if we're exposed to too much information at one point in time. If we're exposed to too much. But yeah, our soul knows the truth. So it's really important to understand that. And I want you guys, like, don't look down on people, don't be rude to people or whatever, but I want you to be more comfortable in yourselves, in your body, and be more confident, and be more sure of yourself. Like, if you're being your imaginative self and people think you're weird for it, then who cares? Like, look at the way they're living their lives. They're not living their life any better. So, like, for if anything, I feel kind of bad that they like lost touch with their child self and their souls. So they're cut off from that. It's important to be able to embrace your child self and your imaginative self. So if you don't, you'll just end up being a slave to the world, and the world doesn't even want you to be a slave. So you're not even really a slave to the world. You're just a slave to like corrupted beings, which is not how you're supposed to be living your life. And I really think it's just important to embrace your imaginative state. It's just really important. It's vital. Don't betray your soul. You know, I know it could be uncomfortable when you feel like you're the only person doing this or that or whatever, but just trust in it and know that there's people out there that understand you and ride for you. Be yourself. Be weird. Be your unique self. Don't listen to what people say, because they're corrupted. Don't listen to them. Trust in yourself. Don't listen to them. They want you to not be like that, so this world can just keep being in this state of limbo. In order for this world to get out of limbo, we have to free ourselves from being a part of the process, the limbo process. When really, like, a lot of us, we have freedom of our lives. We can be creative and imagine all these different things. We can build our own worlds. We determine our fates. But when we become too attached to what we see, we often believe that we have to do this or do that because we attach ourselves to these concepts, when in reality, we're not attached to anything. We're able to create our own realities. So when we do that, we mess up things to the point where we're not able to create our realities, and we just end up being lumped in with what we see, when we're really supposed to lead and create worlds for people to be able to experience. That's what we're here for. That's why we have these imaginative states and everything like that. We're able to do it. Some people are able to do it in the 3D. Some people are able to do it in other dimensions. Some people are able to do it in like media, like video games or like movies or shows or whatever. But we all have our own unique ways of creating our own worlds. And it's really important for us to create our own worlds so that other people can experience it, and they can help inspire people, and it can heal people as well. So understand that imagination and creativity rules the world, it rules the universe, and it keeps it going. Without it, it shatters it, and it puts it in this really like this state of decay. So understand that if you want to exist in this world, you need to just stay intact with your creative self and your imaginative self, so that you can continue to prosper in life. So yeah, that's very important. I just wanted to say this because I know a lot of us are discouraged because we live in a world currently that discourages us from being able to be creative, and it's very important for us to be creative people And we live in a very, 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 very special era to where there's so many creative beings, so many divine beings, so many deities on this planet currently, so many like special beings that are able to create so much, but they just don't realize it. So since they don't realize it, they when they see people, they're just like really drawn to like fitting in when they're not supposed to fit in. We're not here to fit in. So it's really important for me to say this stuff so you guys can feel more comfortable to be yourselves, be your unique, imaginative selves. Don't let people discourage you, because their opinion doesn't matter to you. It shouldn't matter, because they're not here to tell you what to do. They're not here to tell you what to do. You know what you're supposed to be doing. So trust yourself, because you already know what you need to do. You have the plan set out. It's all in your soul. Everything's already in your soul. You already know what you have to do. If you listen to your soul, when you start listening to your mind, listening to what people tell you, it's not good. Don't trust the advice of anyone who makes you feel uncomfortable, because if they make you feel uncomfortable, they're not to listen to them. They could be someone who may be able to be in your life. It depends on the situation. They may be a genuine person. They may have love for you, but people who are really meant to be in your life, they know how to speak to you. They know what to say to you. It's just like what I was saying with discipline before, how it's good to discipline people in a hard way, but you also have to put love in there as well. So the people who are meant to be in your life, they just know exactly what to say to you, because their soul already knows what to say to you. But people who just like their mind and everything like that, and they make you feel uncomfortable and they discourage you all the time, they're not meant to be in your life. Don't listen to those people. It's important to know these things and to listen and to trust in yourself. If you believe in the impossible, believe in the impossible. And something I noticed is really interesting. I've been looking into words lately and just seeing the way how they are, and this is a pretty obvious one. Like everyone knows this, but like just a lot of different words contradict themselves, and or they tell you like, man, it's just nothing is hidden in this world. It's just so funny because nothing is hidden. I mean, like, it's obvious we live on a fucking goddess's body. Like, she can see everything. It's just obvious, but like nothing's hidden in this world. And whenever we try to like sabotage ourselves or sabotage others, we only end up sabotaging ourselves. And I notice that all the time. People may not consciously be able to see it or feel it, but it's there. Like when you have like evil deeds or like even like evil corruption, all that kind of stuff, all of it, as soon as you think about it, there's already a plan for it to be destroyed. People don't realize that though, but like everything that's not meant to be in this world there's already a blueprint for it to be destroyed. It's not our doing, it's just already built up by the planet itself, because it's just like if your body, like if your body has like I said before, like if your body has like bacteria or whatever viruses in your body that's not good for you, or like a bad cell or whatever, your body already has a script to get rid of it. So that's how it is. So a lot of people walk here entitled, thinking that they owe the world or whatever, when the world's like, dude, like, I'm letting you live here and you're treating me poorly. I can get rid of you anytime I want. Like, that's like literally how it is. I feel like if people build a better relationship with their bodies and their environments, they will understand that better. But what I was trying to say, it's like the word impossible before I got into that whole thing. Like, it's literally like, it literally says I'm possible. I know a lot of people know that, but it literally says I'm possible. And people say, oh, it's impossible, you can never do it. But it literally says I'm possible. It literally says that. It literally says I'm possible. So impossible and possible both mean the same thing. So either possible as in it can happen, or impossible as in I'm possible. So like, it's just so interesting just like looking into stuff and just seeing how things are. I find it so interesting. This world is so interesting to me. It's fascinating. It's really exciting to me just seeing all of this stuff. Even the bad things, it makes me sad, but you know it's just interesting being able to just experience this stuff, and a lot of it makes me uncomfortable because I don't like seeing like negativity and strife, and people not being able to live how they want to live and living out of alignment with themselves. But it's also interesting too, because this is a very unique state that the world is in, and we all get to experience it, and we're in a phase in an era that is very monumental. And there's a lot of special beings on this planet, whether if you realize it or not. But this world is heading into an age that's been waiting for forever. But it's up to you to be able to help that age happen. And you're backed. We all have each other's backs. So it's not like it's just a one man show. Like, trust in your soul knows everything it needs to do. Everything. Your soul has the whole blueprint to everything. Your soul has the blueprint to eternal youth, eternal life, eternal abundance, eternal success, eternal friendships, eternal love. Whatever it is that you want, it has that makes sense, that your soul believes in. It has the blueprint to it. You just have to follow it. If you follow it, you'll get it. It's not gonna always be like easy, and it may not always be in front of you, but it will happen in due time. So trust your soul. Your soul knows what to do. But yeah, don't betray your imagination and your creativity, and always stay by that. Never try to grow up so fast. You don't need to grow up fast. Take your time with growing up. Be a kid still. Like, look at like New Jeans. They're kids to me. I don't care if Minji's almost 19. I don't care. They're kids. Be kids. I wish I could have been viewed as like a kid when I was like 19. The only time I was viewed as a kid is when they want to use me, say I'm a kid just to authority. But like I never really got to literally be a kid. It's like, okay, you're a kid now because I don't want you to do this, I don't want you to do that, or I want to have authority over you. But when it comes to like money or something else or certain other things, I'm a grown man, right? So like it's funny. It's just funny. But yeah, I feel like it's really important for us to be kids, even if you're like 50. But be mature, at the same time. Don't be a take responsibility and accountability for your life, but be youthful, be youthful. If you want to stay youthful, it's in your soul to be youthful. Eternal youth is in your soul. Eternal youth isn't in like medicine or like science or whatever. You already have eternal youth. You have a soul that is immortal. So tap into that if you want to be able to live as long as you want to live, and you'll have divine protection and all that kind of stuff, because what's keeping us alive isn't necessarily really, it's our souls, but yeah, that's all I want to say for that. I don't want to talk anymore on that, but yeah, I hope everyone's happy, healthy, abundant, blessed, not stressed. Don't be stressed. Don't be stressed out, man, in this world. Please don't. But yeah, be well, and I hope you're having a great day. Take care.